Well, we all have bad habits, but sometimes it takes a brave friend to point them out to us. Today, I am that person. I'm going to be running through a number of bad swimming habits, and then it's over to you to own up and let us know which ones you're guilty of in the comment section down below. Right, this first one really gets on my nerves. Are you someone that jumps in and just starts swimming fast straight away, overtaking everyone during the warm-up, going, oh, look at me, I'm so fast? This one obviously really bugs me, but if you know someone that does this on a regular occurrence, you can relish in the fact that you will probably end up swimming faster during the main set, the important part of the swimming set. Now, I can understand if the water temperature is cold, you might want to swim a little bit faster for the first couple of lengths just to simply get yourself warmed up. But the clue is in the name. It is there to warm you up at the very start and then save your energy for the main chunk, the main part of the session. Do you watch someone push off the wall and then immediately push off straight after them and then proceed to put pressure on them? Worse, maybe actually tapping their toes. Just no, don't do it. Why? What's the point? The only instance that this is maybe okay is if you're in a public swim session, you've clocked that that person is maybe slightly faster than yourself. Therefore, by pushing straight off after them, they're only going to get further away from you, giving you lots of free swimming time before you get caught by another swimmer. But if you're tapping someone's toes or putting pressure on them, swimming straight up their backside, then we don't like you. Another instance is maybe during a club session, a swim session, you go just a couple of seconds before the coach says to go, or maybe before the rest period is over. You go 2 or 3 seconds early. You're probably the same person and then comes in at the end of the rep and goes, oh, I swam a really fast time, because you haven't actually taken into account that you went 2 or 3 seconds early. Just stop doing it, okay? If it's not the pool boy, it's the paddles. And if it's not the paddles, it's the snorkel. If it's not the snorkel, it's the fins. You get the picture. Are you the person that's always grabbing swim toys? Now, admittedly, this one's not going to affect others, but it's really not going to be doing your swimming any favors. Now, swimming toys are a great complement to your swimming training and can really help to improve your swimming, but they're not intended to be used all the time because you become quite reliant on them. In fact, come race day, you might feel rather lost without them and be wondering why you're swimming so slow. Okay, this is the one I think we're going to get the most confessions to, because it's incredibly common among time-crunched athletes. Do you swim non-stop? Yeah, now I can totally understand why this happens. You've got a limited time slot available, so you just want to get the most bang for your buck, cover the most distance you possibly can in that time. But trust us on this, it is not the most efficient use of your time. In fact, the most efficient use of your time includes some rest, some changes of pace, maybe different strokes, technique work, and so on. In fact, some of the most beneficial sessions actually cover the least distance. So don't become a slave to the numbers and trying to just cover the most distance you possibly can. Go with a planned, structured session for each of your swims. Are you someone that finds drill and technique work incredibly boring? Or maybe you take pride in being a little bit faster on a certain drill? If this is you, I'm afraid to say you are kind of missing the point of it. Drill, technique work should be nice and slow and high quality swimming, really focusing on technique at hand. If you're speeding through it, you are missing the point of it, and actually you are pretty much wasting your time, or worse, it could be detrimental to your swimming because you're actually enforcing bad technique. As I say, take your time with drill and technique work, really think about what you're doing. Also, if you are leaning towards faster drills because you just want to get it done, again, maybe reassess that. If you're finding though that you are traveling really slow through the drills, although that is okay, but maybe you just want to go a little bit faster, you can pop fins on or maybe even a pool buoy in, more to actually help keep you afloat so you can focus on the drill at hand rather than worrying about just staying on the surface of the water. We don't have rear view mirrors when we're swimming, so we really don't know who's right behind us, unless, of course, they're tapping your toes throughout. So if you decide to stop somewhere out there rather than swimming right into the wall, you might end up with someone swimming right into the back of you. And this is incredibly common actually in shallow pools where you feel you can kind of stand up and just wade into the last few meters, maybe whilst you're chatting to your friends. Again, getting in the way of someone else trying to get on with their swim. Talking of which, this is another bugbear. If you're just resting at the end of a lane, again, maybe chatting to a friend, don't just mill around just anywhere at the end of the lane. Stick to one side, try and keep out of the way and allow other swimmers to get past and carry on with their swim. Another lazy habit, are you guilty of pulling on the lane rope? I'm actually going to put my hands up here. I used to be a backstroker and the lane rope's just so conveniently placed for just grabbing hold of it whilst you're pulling. I didn't do it all the time, right? It's mostly during warm downs, at the end of a session, when I was tired. But anyway, there's a couple of big issues to this. A, it's blatant cheating. But B, if you're pulling on a lane rope that's got movable floats, well, not only could you end up not actually getting a pull at all and therefore not benefiting in the slightest, you could also actually move those floats down into someone further down the lane that's actually holding onto or hanging onto that lane rope and actually be really quite painful. So just don't do it. And I'm sorry for my bad habit in the past. Now, some of these bad habits today are more serious than others, and needless, they're just not going to get you any friends in the swimming pool. So best to avoid them, and also just to help you further improve your swimming. Anyway, now it's time for you to own up. Let us know which bad habits you've got in the comment section down below. I bet you've all got one at least. So get involved, let us know, and we'll see you next time. Give it a thumbs up, give it a like, give us a subscribe.